Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So we know that in the phase lead compensator, phase lead compensator, 0 will be to near to the imaginary axis. So 0 will be near to the imaginary axis. We have to remember this one. If we do not remember that why phase lead, so phase lead is actually coming from the PD. PD means a proportional and derivative, and we know that if we have a derivative d by dt, then the Laplace transform of derivative is equal to s. So this means that we are multiplying what is called the transfer function of the system within s. So if s, so this means that some value of this s, which is this location, we will add a 0 to this system. So that is why this differentiator is called the lead compensator. And why lead compensator? Because we say that in terms of the what is called the polar form, this has the following form, which was some form and angle was equal to what, plus 90 or plus pi. So if we have plus pi, means that is leading, and if it is leading, so that is called the compensator, is called the leading compensator. So we are now what is called, we are taking the phase lead compensator. And why to take the phase lead compensator? Since 0 is toward the imaginary axis, which means that if it is near to the imaginary axis, then near to the imaginary axis we will deal with the over here we will deal with the transient effect. So we will use the phase lead compensator to deal with the transient effect of the system. Let us consider an example, and let us find all the the design parameter, that what is required and how to find these design parameter. So let us start with this example. So we have transfer function of the system, which is equal to 1 over a square. Why we consider 1 over a square? Because we want to start with something which is not stable. So we started with the marginally stable system over here, and then we have the gain of the system. So gain of the system is there, and then we have the comparator over here, so plus, and this is minus, and this is a negative feedback system over here, and at the output we have the control signal. So if we find the root locus of this one, so of course this is equal to what, the transfer function is equal to k divided by a square. So this means that we have two poles at s is equal to 0. So let me add the two poles. So this is the two poles at s is equal to 0, 1, and this is 2. Now if you will increase the value of the k, so the root locus will move like this. And if it move like this, we say that the root locus that is along the imaginary axis, and the system is oscillatory in nature. So in this case the system is marginally stable and is oscillatory in nature. Now what is the target? Now the target is, you see, the target is, our objective is, or the goal is what is called, we have to make this this table. What we have to use, you see that in this case what we have to use means that which compensator we have to use, or which controller we have to use. So this is clear that you see everything over here we are dealing with the transient effect, because here there is no question for the steady state. Steady state we will deal later on if we will get the first of all, if we get some stable system. So once we get the stable system, then we can deal with the steady state error. But here the system is marginally stable, oscillatory, in nature, and it is not, it's called stable. So first of all we have to make it stable. So this means that we are dealing with the transients, what is called transient phase over here. And if we are dealing with the transient phase over here, this means that we have to do everything over this area, and we have to drag everything toward the zero toward, we have to add a zero into the system. So this means that we have to use the PD, what is called the PD, proportional derivative controller, or the lead compensator over here. So we have to add a zero, and then we have to add a pole over here. So this is because the requirement is to place to improve the what is called the transient effect, not the steady state error, because the steady state error will be discussed later on after we get the, first of all, if we get the a stable system. So the steady state is not the requirement in this case. So in this case, what we are using the what is called the proportional derivative controller, or the lead compensator. If we will use the lag compensator, so what will happen? So this will make the increase the type of the system and will make it more what is called unstable. So the marginally stable will become stable system will become unstable system if we will use the PI controller. So we are not using the PI controller. So we are using actually the PD controller. So let us use the PD controller and make the system stable. So we have what? We have 1 over a square. Then we have the PD controller over here, and here we have the signal plus, this is minus, so it will produce the error signal, and then we can also increase the gain of the system. And they say that this is a unit feedback system over here. So we have a unit feedback system over here. So this means that this is the uncompensated system, uncompensated system, and this is the controller. Why this controller is used? For the compensation. And generally we know that the controller D of S will be given by Kc S plus Zc divided by S plus Pc, such that this Zc will be less than the Pc, so that it will be near to the imaginary axis. Now what we have to do? You see the other system parameters, they are known. The unknown parameters are what? The unknown parameters are Kc, Zc, and Pc. Because we have to add this to the system. You see, we have to add this to the system to make it the stable system with some desired what is called specification. And where this desired specification will be given, this will be the user specification. So we should have the user specification. Let me write this one also. So we should have some user specification. So let user has this may be the designer specification also. So user design. So it depends on the design. So let the user has the following requirements. Design requirements. It's called design requirements. What are the requirements? User, in this case, you see we have 1 over a square. So in this case, zeta is equal to what? Is equal to 0. So that is why we have this the root locus is along the imaginary axis. So in this case, zeta is equal to 0, and now the user wants the zeta to be equal to 0.7. So we want to improve the what is called the damping. So the oscillation is reduced. So we will have the what is called the transient phase. Since zeta is less than 1, so this means that we will have the overshoot also. We will have the overshoot of the system, but the system will become a stable system. So the user want this one, and the user want the settling time become equal to 2 seconds. So these are the two design parameters that are given. So we have the two design parameters. The zeta is equal to 0.707, let me make it 707. We can use any value of the zeta. It's not necessary that zeta is equal to 0.707. So if we will change zeta, so this means that the gain of the system will also change. I will discuss this one also. And Ts is equal to what? Ts is equal to 2 seconds. So if we have these two parameters, so this means that from this we can find the other parameters. How we will find the other parameters? We have to draw into the sketching of the what is called the root locus. Remember that if we have this line to what is called this line, let me draw the line. This line is called the impedance line. This is called the impedance line. Now this line can be equal to 0. What is called this can be 0.1, 0.2, and so on. Because in this case this is equal to what? When we have the what is called the two poles at the same location, that is called zeta is equal to 1. It's called zeta is equal to 1. And as what is called and as the zeta is decreasing, and as the zeta is decreasing, so you see that the poles that will move toward the imaginary axis like this one. So the pole will move toward the imaginary axis, and then the system will become the marginally stable system. So this one, these two lines will be the same because of the symmetry of the system. So this means that you see, when we have the two poles at the same location, which means that zeta become equal to 1, which is called the critically damped case. Critically damped case. So this is called the critically damped case, and as zeta less than 1, this means that it will move into the imaginary axis and the imaginary plane and will move toward the imaginary axis. So this means that we have let me go toward this side. So we have zeta, which is 0.707, and we have the Ts, which is 2 seconds. So I will, in the meantime, we will also discuss that how the zeta, if it is changed, so what is called so how we will find the gain of the system also. So let's say that this is called the impedance line. This is called the damping line. Sorry, this is called the damping line. So this is called the damping line. So this means this is zeta. And how to find the location of the zeta? The location of zeta can be found from the value of the zeta. So let's say that zeta is equal to 0.707. So the location will be equal to, is given by the angle theta. So this is given by the angle theta. And the angle theta will become equal to what? Cos inverse of zeta. So we discussed this in the second order system. If you want to go to understand the details, so you can get the details by going through the second order system when we discuss that one, the performance of the time response analysis of the second order system. So from this you can find the location of this one. So you see that now if zeta is equal to what? 0, so theta will become equal to 90. If zeta is equal to 1, if zeta is equal to 1, this means that theta will be equal to what? 0. So now you see that the location of this can be found from the value of the zeta. So in this case the zeta is given. So if zeta is given, so you can find this theta. The second thing is the settling time. Remember that the settling time is given by Ts is equal to 4 divided by zeta omega n. This is called the settling time, zeta omega n, and this zeta omega n is along the what is called the real axis. This one. This is the value of zeta omega n. So this is the value of zeta omega n, and the value of zeta omega n can be found from the what? From the Ts, because this is the user specification. So we can manipulate this one and can get the desired performance what is called specification. So from this what we get? We got the impedance value. You see what is the impedance? We can also get the omega n, and we can also find this angle, and from this we can, if we have the zeta omega n and what is called so this means that this line when it touches the zeta line, that is called, this location is, this is the S location. You see, this is the S location. S can be found from here, which means that we can find the imaginary axis, which will be plus j something omega, and this will be equal to what? Minus alpha. So you see that we found the value of the S, and this point, the gain at this point is called the gain of the system. So you can find the gain of the system at this point also, because this can be the gain of the system. We can easily find, because we know that this will be equal to what? 1 over GH. So you can also say that gain is equal to 1 over G of S multiplied by H, which means the open loop transfer function. So we can find this one. We discussed this in the second what is called the time response analysis of the second order system. So I hope you go there and you study again if you do not understand, and you can get the what is called the you should understand this one. So in simple terms, if we have what is called if we have the zeta and the time response, so how, like if we have the zeta which is equal to 7.007, and if we have the time which is in this case is 2 seconds, how we have to find the other performance parameters? We have to draw this zeta line, okay, since this is symmetrical, so this will be the same, and then we have to find this theta, sorry, this is the theta. How to find this theta? This theta and this theta will be the same, so this and this will be same, so the theta will be equal to what? Cos inverse of the zeta. So we find this one, and the third thing is that we have to find zeta omega n along the real axis. From where we can get this information? We can get this from the settling time zeta omega n. So we can get from here, you can find this one, and it will be along the this one. So this is the zeta omega n. So this is zeta omega n. And then we can also find what is called this one, and also find this one. These 2 points, these are called the closed loop poles, and we can also find the gain at these poles. And of course you see this is j omega, and this is equal to minus j omega, and this is equal to minus alpha. So we have all the points, and we can find these values easily. So let us continue that in our case what we get. So we have the zeta is equal to, coming back to the original question, because I do not want to deviate from the original question. We have the uncompensated system, then we are using the controller. So this is the controller, and this is the user specifications which are given. We are going to find the values of KC, ZC, PC over here, and we have to develop this from design this from the system. So how to design this one? So we have 0.707, this is equal to 2 seconds. So we know that t is equal to 4 divided by zeta omega n. So if you find this one, so zeta omega n will be also equal to 4 divided by 2, which is equal to 2. So we have the zeta omega n also. If you are interested in finding the value of the natural frequency, you can also find this one, because omega n will become equal to 2 divided by zeta. So in this case, this will be equal to 2.857. Similarly, we can also find the what is called, we can find the closed loop poles also. In this case, that where are the closed loop poles? So if you will draw this one, and this is equal to 0. Now this is zeta omega n. We draw this one. This is zeta omega n, which is at what? Minus 2 over here. So this is equal to zeta omega n. So this is we had this 2 poles over here, and then we have this zeta omega n. This is one location, and also remember that we have the zeta is equal to 0.7 line was there. So this is zeta is equal to 0.707 line, which means that we know this angle. So we have to find this angle. So you can easily find this angle by taking the inverse what is called on both sides. Also, let us see that sorry, Pascal, so you can find this one. If we this is -2. If we use the proper relationship, so we can see that this will become equal to what? This point and this point. This will happen to be what? -2. Sorry. The angle will be equal to 45 degrees because this is equal to 0.707. So if you will easily find this is equal to 45 degrees. So if it is 45 degrees, then the two lines should be equal. And then we say that this point will be also equal to what? Plus j omega j2. And this point will be equal to what? Minus j2. Because theta will be equal to cos inverse of 0.707, which will be equal to 45 degrees. So this is 2 and this is also 2. That is now that give us some what is called the we have what is called the angle is given. Now due to the symmetry we have the closed loop points also, and we have to find this will what is called this will design what is called develop. We will develop the control system using these poles, the closed loop poles, this one and this one. And instead of like the root locus lying on the imaginary axis, it will have to pass through these two poles. And if it is passing through these poles, what should be the damping of the system? The damping of the system will be equal to 0.707, which is given over here. And the settling time, which is also given, will be equal to what? 2 seconds. So we have we can also find the gain at this point. So we will also find the gain at this point as a design parameter. And now the thing is that how we will achieve this one. You see, if we have to pass through this point, we have to pass through this point. So you see, this will not automatically come toward this side, the left hand side. This means that we are going to add something into the system which will drag the root locus from the imaginary axis toward the left half plane. So this means that we have to add the controller, and that controller that we added is the PD controller or the lead compensator. So if we add the lead compensator, which is equal to what? Kc S plus Zc divided by S plus Pc. So towards to the same system. Now we know much information from the giving design parameters. So we know these lines. Sorry, this one. So due to the symmetry, we will discuss what is called only the what is called the what is called one pole because the another will be at the same location. So we will either discuss this pole or the another pole. So let's say this is pi, and this will happen at the location, first location at -2 because of zeta omega n is equal to -2, and we also know that this is equal to j2 and this is equal to minus j2. Now what we are going to do, we are adding PD compensator. If we add the PD, this means that the 0 will be near toward the imaginary axis. So let's say that we add this and this one. Now why we add this pole? You see, we added this 0, and with 0 we added the pole. So let us first discuss this one, and then we will come toward the what is called the further discussion. Now we should say that the what is called the angle effect, the total angle contribution on the closed loop pool must be equal to what? This must be equal to 180 over here. This comes from we know that this is equal to what? This is equal to 45. So this means that this will be equal to what? We have to find the angles from what is called in this direction. In this direction, See, we have to find the angle in this direction. So this is the we have two poles over here. So this means that the location of these poles, what is called the angle effect over this one, we have to find the total angle effect, and this comes from the relationship, the summation of the angle of the zeros minus summation of the angle of the poles will be equal to minus 180, or the odd product of this one. Also, you can also consider the odd product of this one, which is equal to what, which means that this can also be equal to minus 2k plus 1, 2k plus 1 pi mean 180. So you can also consider this one. So this is the total angle effect. Now this angle is equal to the total angle is what, is 180. So 180 minus 45. So this will be equal to 180 minus 45. This will be equal to 135. So we have two angles over here, 135, and then we have one angle from this closed loop pole, which is equal to 90 in this case. So we have to also consider this one, and then we have to add this pole and zeros, such that the total angle contribution will become equal to minus 180. So this means that there will be contribution from this, you see, from this zero and from this pole, and then we have to consider this relationship. So if you consider this relationship, this means that this angle is equal to what, the angle of 0 ZC, and this is the angle of the PC, which means the pole of the controller. ZC means the zone of the controller. This is the closed loop pole over here, and then we have the two poles over here. So if you will do the calculations, then it is easy, because you just do the calculation. So this means the theta ZC minus is from 0. You see the sum of the angle of the 0. So we have only one 0 in this system, minus the theta PC. Now first of all, you see that if you will have if you do not have this pole over here, so what will happen, the angle contribution there will not become equal to 180. So this will be difficult to find that this will become equal to 180. So that is why the pole is actually added over here to what is called, number one is that the pole is added over here is to what is called to invert the noise, because it will be sufficiently what is called away from the zeros, number one. Number two is that this is used because of the angle contribution, because if you will not add this one, then it will be difficult to find the angle to satisfy the angle contribution over this closed loop pole. So that is why the 0 and the pole are added, and that is why this is the general form of the what is called the PD or the PI compensator or the PID compensator. So we come back to this one. So this means this minus 2 pi 1, and this will become equal to what? This will become equal to 180. This will become equal to this one. Sorry, we have not to find the effect of this pole with the closed loop poles. We have to find the effect of the other poles, not this one. You can also what is called erase this one, so that there will be no confusion over here. So you can leave it like this. But we know that there is another pole also due to the symmetry, so we have to satisfy the symmetry condition also. So if you will find this one, then we see that the pi ZC minus this pi PC minus 2 into 135 degrees, and this will become equal to minus 180 degrees. And if you will do the calculation, then we see that pi ZC minus pi PC will be equal to 90. The first thing is that the 0 and the pi can be placed anywhere along this real axis. So you can place it anywhere until and unless the angle contribution that is satisfied, the total angle contribution. But you should remember that if you are using the PD compensator, the 0 will be toward the imaginary axis, not the pole. So that is the That is the thing. So let us see that how the angle is there. What is called the total angle is there. So let us place the what is called, we said it it can be placed anywhere. So it can be placed anywhere. So it can be placed at -2 also, because we are interested to find the location of the 0. But let us see that what will happen if we will place this at 0. Over here you can also see that this what is called the pi zc minus pi pc. What is this one? So pi zc minus pi c, you see this is let's say this is the reference axis. So this is the you see pi zc, and let's use the another one, and this is the this is the pi pc. So you see this the red one, this minus this one, which is actually this line. So this is what, this should be equal to 90. This should be equal to 90 in our case. So this is pi zc minus pi pc. In our case this should be equal to 90. We have to design this controller. We have to adjust the location of the pole in 0 such that the angle between the two is equal to 90 in this case. So you see in the given figure this is not equal to 90. So you can make it equal to 90 by changing the location of the 0. So if you bring the location of the 0 to -2, what will happen? So let's see that if you bring it to -2, in that case what will happen? So if you bring it to -2, so this is 0, and then this is -2 position, and this is the closed loop pole over here. This is also plus j2, and this is 2. This one was the what is called the zeta is equal to 0.707 axis. And then we say that let us bring this to the 0 at this point. So if we bring the 0 toward this point, so the angle, what will be the angle? Now to satisfy is pi zc minus pi pc, where should be the location of the what is called the 0? So the 0 should be at infinity. So if it is infinity, you see that this should be like this line, and then this will become equal to 90. So that is the only, but in this case it is not possible. So it is not possible. So this means that at -2 it is not possible to have what is called at -2 0 is called 0. At -2 it is not possible to have the location of the pole, finite location of the pole, to have finite location of pole, or you can also say that theta minus what is called pi zc minus pi pc will not be equal to 0. So it is difficult to satisfy this one. Pi is not equal to 90. So this means that it will be some another location. So let us find the another location. So this is the original two poles over here. This is the location of the closed loop poles that we need to design. This is J2, and this is what? This is 2. We already know that how we get this location. Remember, do not forget this one. We get this from the zeta is equal to 0.707, which was actually 45 degrees. We got this one from zeta omega n. Remember this one. So it's from no other point but from zeta omega n. So not going to discuss this one, just to say that it is from this one. And let us move the location of the 0 to -1. -2, let's say this is equal to -1. So it is possible or not. So you see that this is the angle contribution. So this means that the 0 will be somewhere over here, such that the angle between the two will be equal to what? To 90. We seem it is called feasible in this case. It's possible in this case. So this means that let us fix the 0 to be equal to -1. So now we have the location of the 0. and we have the what is called the location of these two poles, which means that the root locus should pass through this point. So the root locus will pass through this point when 0 is at this -1. So if 0 is at this -1, so let us find the what is called the location of the pole. You see this one, because we do not know this one. So let us find this one now. So this means that at 0 is equal to -1, we already know that this is equal to what? This is equal to 2. This is equal to what? 1. From here to here, this is equal to 1. So you see, from here to here, this is the distance is equal to 1. This is equal to what? This is 2, and so we know this information. So we have this information. This is equal to 90, but we do not know the angle information. So if you find the angle information, so then we can find the what is called pi ZC minus pi PC, which is equal to 90. So we can easily find the angle of pi PC also. So we can find that one also. And that what should be the angle? What is called that location of this one. So let us say that this we are interested to find this one, the angle. So we can find this one easily. We say that we can use the because this is right angle triangle, so we can use the Pythagoras theorem over here. So let's say that if we use the Pythagoras theorem, then this will be equal to what? 2 square plus 1 square, which is equal to square root of 5. So we also find this what is called the axis, horizontal axis, which is the length contribution over the pole, closed loop pole. So we can find this one also. If we have this much information, then we can also find the theta information, which is this one. So this one, if we can easily find from the opposite angle identity, which means that sine 90 divided by under root 2 will be equal to what? Sorry, let me make it like this. This can be found from what? We can say that sine 90 divided by under root 5, the opposite angle identity, this is called, which will be equal to sine theta divided by 2, opposite to this one and opposite to this one. So we can find the angle from this one, and if you find the angle will be equal to 63.43. So we find the angle 63.43 degrees. So this means that if we find this angle, then we can also find this angle. So this will be the remaining angle, or you can say that what is the if this is the remaining angle, if this is 63 point what is called 43, then we can use the angle what is called the of the triangle. So this will be equal to 100 minus 90 minus 63. So this will be the angle, which is equal to theta, will be equal to 180, or you can also say that 90. Simply if you say that this will be equal to 90 minus, in this case it will be equal to 90 minus 63.43 degrees. So you find this one again. You see the total angle is 90 from here to here. So this will become equal to 63. The total is 90. So this angle will become equal to this angle will become equal to what? Let me change the color. This angle will become equal to, again this will be equal to what? 63.43. And using the triangle angles, the total angle will be equal to 180. So this will become again equal to what? 90 minus 63.43, which will become equal to after the simplification, if you do so, this will become equal to 26. This will become equal to what? 26.59 degrees. Which means from here, if you find this value, so you can find the value of IPC, which is equal to 26.59. Now remember that we have the what is called the location. And what we are going to find? We are going to find this the length, what is called the location on the real axis. So we know the location of the pole, which is equal to -1. We know, but we do not know the location of the pole over here. So let me go to the other page using the same information. So I will use the same information. So two poles over here, then we have one closed loop pole over here at plus J2. And this will be equal to what? -2, and then we have a 0 at -1. I know this one. This one was equal to what? This is equal to the angle was equal to 63 over here. This is equal to what? 63.43 degrees. I know this one. This is equal to 2 from the same. This one I know. This is equal to what? 26. We just found this one. This is equal to 26.59. I know this one. This is 26.59. I know this one. Now, and I know this angle. So let me use another color for this angle. Let me do now some work with this one. So I know this angle, and I know this angle, which is equal to 90. I know this length, but I do not know this length, or you see, I do not know this length. So you can find this length also. You can find this length again from the same, you see, from the same angle identity, which is equal to sine of 26.59. 0.59 divided by angle of this divided by 2 will be equal to sine 90 divided by what? This what is called, let's say this is equal to y. The distance is equal to divided by y. So you can find y, and if you will find y is equal to after simplification, this is equal to 4.47. Now it is easy now, because we know what is y, which is equal to 4.47. This is given. Now we can find this one by using the Pythagoras theorem also. So this means that this is given, which is equal to what? 2. This is also given, which is equal to 4.47. We have a right angle triangle, so we can find this one. So if you find this one using the Pythagoras theorem, of course that will be equal to what? That will be equal to 4.47 square minus 2 square root of this one, which will be equal to 4 in this case. So this means that this is equal to 4. This is equal to 4. So this means that -2, and then this one is equal to 4. So this location is equal to -6. -2 minus 4 will become equal to -6. So this means that we found the location of the 0. We found the location of the pole. And now we can easily say that if we have these two locations, then we say that we can design the controller. So we find the design parameter of the controller. And what are the design parameter of the controller? So the design parameter of the controller is what? The controller D of S will be equal to what? S plus what? The 0 will be equal to at 1, S plus 1, and pole will be equal to what? S plus 6. So we have to add this to the controller transfer function. So we have the controller transfer function, which is equal to 1 over S square. So we add another block, which is equal to ds. We have the comparator over here. So this is minus, and this is the closed loop transfer function. And now if we will draw the total, is called the forward transfer function, will become equal to what? Let's say this is equal to k. So this will be equal to k S plus 1 divided by S square S plus 6. So if you will plot the root locus for this one, so the root locus for this one will become equal to what? The root locus for this one will become like this. So we have two poles over here. We have two poles, and then we have a 0 at -1, and then we have another pole at -6. So this means that we have to find the asymptotic position. You have to work on this one also, because the location of intersection you can easily find. You can also find the direction, what is called the departure angle. But remember that sorry, let me erase this one. This is but remember that we have to just let me use some proper values. So we have this one, then we have -2, -1. The closed loop, what is called the root locus will cross through this transfer function. You can also find the point of intersection, which should be somewhere here in between these points, near to this -2. And now if you will, this means that the root locus that will the first one, this will rise, this will pass through this point, and this will go into the imaginary axis. And similarly this one, this will rise, pass through this point, and go into the imaginary axis. And this one what will it do? This will go sorry, to use the another color. This will go from the pole and toward the right. How? Using this, you see we have these 2 poles over here, 2, then this is 3, and this is 4. So we say that the root locus will go toward the right of the even number of the poles. So that is why it go from the right of this pole and finish at the 0 over here. So you see that initially the locus was on the imaginary axis, but now we draw the root locus toward the left hand side. But this has been possible when we add the 0 and pole into the system, and we have to use the proper value of the zeros and the poles. So we have to design this for the given values. In our case, the given value is zeta is equal to 0.7, and the what is called the settling time was equal to 2 seconds. But if you will change the value of the zeta, this means that you can further bring it toward the what is called the toward the left hand side, or you can also, you see, keep the zeta to be equal to 0.5. It depends on the design parameter, whatever you want. So you can you can design the what is called the system parameters. You can make it stable if it is not stable by using the controllers and by using the proper values. The value of the k at this point, you can also find the value of the k at this point. What should be the value of the k at this point? The value of the k at this point can be obtained from the magnitude criteria, because we know this is equal to j2 and this is equal to -2. So we can this can be found from the magnitude criteria, or you can also use 1 over GH criteria. So this will also give you the gain. So if you will use the magnitude criteria, this will be equal to, you see, the k will be equal to the length from one pole, the length from the another pole. Let's say we have 2 poles at 0, and then we have the length from PC divided by the length from the 0. Means the length, let me draw on the next page, this one. You know, this is j2, is minus j2. We have 2 poles over here. We have a 0 at -1, and then this point we are going to find the gain at this point when the impedance is equal to the damping is equal to 0.707, and the transfer function was equal to what? Over here the damping is equal to what? Damping is equal to 0.707, and the transfer function and the what is called the settling time is equal to 2 seconds. So we found the zeta omega n, which is equal to what? Settling time is equal to 2 seconds. So we found zeta omega n, which is equal to also equal to 2 in our case. That is why we found this zeta omega n. So we had these values. We also find this value from what? This one we found from the angle. You see, from the angle, because we said that if zeta is equal to 0.707, then this angle is equal to what? This angle was equal to 45 degrees. and which is 45 degrees, then this length and this length will become equal. So we have this information, and now we are going to find and we have another pole at -6. So the magnitude criteria is like this. So you have to find, see, this magnitude, which is the controller pole. We have to find the magnitude over this. So this is the length of the 0 of the controller, and then we have the, you see, two distance over here because we have this one. So let's say this is LA. So we have 2 times, because consider the LA because we have 2 poles over here. So this will give you the value of the K. But if you are going to find the value of the K by the another method, we can also find the another method. In that method, what we have to find the transfer function. So the transfer function in this case is what? The transfer function is equal to, you see, we have s square, and then we have s plus 6, the poles, and then we have the s plus 1. We have 1 0 at -1. So let's say that we have to find the transfer function at what? At the point s is equal to this point, and this point is at -2 minus j plus j2. So this point is equal to -2 plus j2. So at this point, so we have to replace the value of the s by using this value. So if you simplify this one, if you will use the s is equal to -2 plus j2, so you can find the value of the g. So you can find the value of the g, which will be equal to, in this case, g will become equal to -1 minus j2 divided by 8 and 4 minus j2. So you have to do this calculation by yourself. So and then we have to find the magnitude. So the magnitude will become equal to what? The magnitude of the numerator and the magnitude of the denominator. So this will be equal to 1 square plus 2 square magnitude divided by 8. And the magnitude of this one will become equal to what? 4 square plus 2 square. So finally you have to find the value of g, which is equal to 1 over 16, and then we say that the gain is equal to 1 over g. So the gain will be equal to what? 16. So this means that at this point the gain is equal to what? 16. So we also found the value of the gain. So the gain is equal to 16 at this point. Now in this particular example, now 90-degree condition has to satisfy, but it's not necessary that we will have this 90-degree what is called condition every time. That is why you see that you have this 0 within this region. Let me consider it some like this one. We see this region. This region means that where we have this zeta omega n. See the zeta omega. So in this case, the 0 is within this region, but normally it should not be within this region. It should be outside this region toward this side, left hand side. It should be somewhere here or near to this region, but it should not be within this region. Here it is within this region because we have to satisfy the 90-degree condition. Otherwise, it is always what is called recommended to place 0 outside the region to satisfy the dominance condition. Outside the region toward the left half plane. Moreover, if the ratio of the 0 and the pole is greater, that means more than like is like 6 times, 10 times, like this. If it is approximately 10 times, then the pole will be better. What is called the pole will actually attenuate high frequencies. We say that it will attenuate the high frequencies in what is called betterly compared to when this ratio is less than 10. So finally you see that at the end we get the type 2 system, because if you will find the type of the system, this is equal to the number of the what is called the type of the system will become equal to n minus m, where n is the size what is called the order of the denominator polynomial and m is the order of the numerator polynomial, which is equal to 2. So this means that since this is a type 2 system, so the steady state will be satisfied automatically for the unit step function or the unit ramp function. So we should not worry about the what is called the steady state what is called condition in this type 2 system, because we say that that will be automatically satisfied. But if you will increase then the other, then we have to take care of that also. So anyhow, we have a type 2 system, so we are not worried about this one. We have to only consider the transient behavior, and we say that we design the system such that we bring it from the marginally stable into the stable system, and we design the system for the given damping ratio, which is called zeta. And we can also redesign this one for the another value of the zeta or the settling time. So it's not, in this case, this is said error will be equal to 0. So let's stop over here, and then we have to continue this session for the PI controller, that how the PI controller will work and how we can design the PI controller, and later on how we can what is called cascade the two compensator to do the overall PID controlling of the system. Thank you very much. See you later on.